Hey everybody, it's Gamescom 2013. Sean McInnes and Martin Gaston here at the Microsoft press conference where I have just played a bit of Dead Rising 3.
Yeah.
Martin, I'm going to ask you a yes or no question.
Right.
Do you think that I immediately put on a light, airy summer dress as soon as I started playing Dead Rising 3? Think about it for a second. I don't want to pressure you too much.
There is no doubt in my mind that that's what you did.
Bing, bing, bing.
Winners.
That is correct. That is correct. You get to talk to me about Dead Rising 3 for another 3.5 minutes.
So I remember at E3, I remember when this was announced at E3, I remember Tom McShea especially was really worried that they were going to take all the crazy zaniness out of Dead Rising and just throw it in the bin.
Right.
But by your summer dress anecdote, I believe that there may be some zaniness in this game.
So here's what I think they're doing with that game. They're trying to play up the contrast more between the seriousness of the world and the characters and the goofiness of the tools that you have as a player to just make all that stuff look ridiculous.
Right.
So you can put on dresses, you can dress as a totally ridiculous monster, you can combine all these weapons into crazy tools. And it's the contrast between what you're doing with all those available options versus the world as it exists on its own. I think that's what they're trying to do with the humor, is just play that up a bit more.
So the world is a serious world.
A serious world.
But you are doing crazy things.
Yes, absolutely. So here's what I did in my demo.
Okay, walk us through it.
All right, here's what I did. I put on a summer dress.
Right.
I went into a store. I found a nice broadsword, so I started swinging that around. And in fact, one of the cool things that I did is that I got to try out the new vehicle combo system. So in Dead Rising 2, you could combo weapons together. Dead Rising 3, you can combo vehicles together.
Right.
So I took a giant steamroller, pulled up right next to a motorcycle, hopped out, and I was like, that would look nice combined together. So I combined them, which is pretty easy. You just hop out, you hit the right bumper, and you hit the combine button. And then about 5 seconds later, you get the body of a motorcycle with the steamroller of a steamroller.
The steamrolleriness of a steamroller.
Yes.
Did it have the front motorcycle wheel, was that a big sort of steamrollery, whatever that thing is on a steamroller?
Right, and then for a reason that I'm not entirely sure of, I could also shoot flames. So I was steamrolling zombies, just blood and gore everywhere. I was shooting flames around. And at one point I started doing donuts, and while shooting flames, which was kind of ridiculous.
So you don't need to be so Dead Rising 2, you had to be at a bench, right, to do all this stuff. You can just put the two vehicles side by side and go, ba-ba.
No, you don't have to be at a bench. What you do have to do, though, what they work into the game is that you have to unlock the ability to do these sort of like mass combos. So as you start the game off, it's like Dead Rising 2. You need specific recipes for 2 different items. But as the game goes on, you unlock a certain crafting category, and you can essentially combine any 2 items from that category. The way that works is that items now have sort of like traits to them. So instead of combining like a car battery and a baseball bat to make an electric shock weapon, you can combine any electrical item with any melee item because they share those 2 traits, and that's how you make the crazy electrical bat.
Okay, so the system's quite a bit different.
Yeah.
And did you run into any psychos or human dudes, or are they keeping all that stuff locked away?
There are those kind of like psycho characters. I didn't encounter those because it was sort of like a brief 5-minute sandbox exploration. They do have what they call like the marquee zombies, which are just like the standard shambling zombies, but with like special skills. So there's like the police officers who can actually walk around and fire a gun like a zombie.
Of course.
And as you'd expect, they just kind of go, whoa, everywhere.
Their aim's a bit off.
Their aim is a little bit off, thanks to the fact that they're undead.
Zombies not good at shooting guns.
But you know, overall, like it was goofy.
Right.
It was silly. I got to do a lot of ridiculous stuff. I feel like, you know, the reaction at E3 was a bit overblown. The world itself was very serious, the characters, but the tools that this game gives you are still every bit as ridiculous and zany as they've ever been.
The thing with the E3 announcement looked so serious that you felt like it was a completely different game.
Right.
And then I think Capcom was almost taken aback, as if like, no wait, there is zany things in.
Don't worry.
We just completely forgot to show them in any capacity.
Yeah, I think they might have got off on the wrong foot, so to speak. And so I think they're using Gamescom as the opportunity to say, hey, our game is still silly. Come along, we'll show you. You can put on a dress. It's fun.
And there is no one better to put on a dress in a video game than this guy.